Now, I know what you must be thinking.
Holy look at all this damage!
Let me explain how we got that damage in a new series I'd like to call Inside the Mind of an Omen main. I'd like to break down some of my plays and explain what went through my mind as I play Omen. As you'll see from the video, there are a lot of intricate details that you need to keep in mind when you play Omen as well. I hope some of these tips help you out in your game too. So let's get into it. As you can see here, I'm playing on split and I'm on A on my own. Because of this, I've got my ult ready to help my team on mid. I've already thrown one smoke because we don't have a sage to wall off mid. And as I throw this second smoke, the enemies start pushing A and I make the call out immediately. Yeah, steps on it. Now, first tip, obviously, is be prepared to help your team across the map if you're an Omen player. The second tip is this is a really good angle to catch the enemy off guard. Essentially, they clear multiple angles before they get here. So they'll clear this angle and this angle, maybe this angle, and then they'll get to clearing elbow. And at that point, this angle becomes very important for you and is a really nice kill spot. As you can see here, I clear out Brimstone and Sova hopping away like there's nothing to worry about. Now, joke's over, you're dead. When I hear that, I want to teleport and catch the Phoenix where he ulted from. Unfortunately, he pops up sooner than I expected, so I cancel my ult and let him run past me. Now my next thing is to find out where he ulted from and kill him as he respawns. Now before I go on the hunt for Phoenix, pay close attention to how I pause for a second as I hear the Reyna walking down ramp. I want to make sure that she checks her left side first, and obviously I shouldn't be there. And then she should continue forward. Pay close attention to this pause. Now I follow the Reyna because I know the Phoenix is also somewhere around that area. Pay close attention to my trigger discipline because I want to get them both roughly at the same time.
One enemy remaining.
And there you have it, ultimate damage. Now we're playing on Haven, one of my favorite maps to play as an Omen. If you're trying to decide what agents to pick on Haven, make sure one of your teammates picks a smoker. Ideally, Omen is perfect for this map. In this clip, we're attacking A and all my teammates die. And I catch KO slip it. As soon as I kill him, I teleport to this box here. And the enemy still thinks that I'm down the ramp on short. Little do they know I've already teleported. As you can see from the bullets, they're a little bit confused. I take out the jet and immediately teleport back to where I initially was. Now I've confused them yet again. Look at these bullet holes. I slowly take the corner and clean out Reyna. And at this point, it's time to use the old Omen trick that everybody should know by now, which is picking up the spike with your ult. I was going to do it from this spot, but I decided let me try and get a little bit further away from the spike. Maybe throw a smoke down here when I am further away, just to confuse the situation. Then I can pick up the spike and plant it on B or C. Unfortunately, Harbor had other plans for me. Now that's unfortunate, but I'm going to show you how it works later on in this video. Now we're on Lotus, and one of my favorite smokes to play on Lotus on the C side is this one here. This one way is perfect to stop a C attack in its tracks. Now a lot of people will throw this smoke and teleport here, but I think that's a waste of a Shrouded step. You don't need to do that. Just throw the smoke and run behind the little mountain, or whatever you want to call this thing. Now I clear out Harbor and Raze and decide to escape. I've got my 2 kills, so now I can smoke off the entry to C side to deter the enemy from pushing it. Looks like they got a little bit scared and decided to rotate and kill one of my teammates and get onto A. So now it's time to use my Omen ult and fly across the map to the A side. As soon as I teleported, I noticed some footsteps and I blind Reyna here. Poor Reyna's a little bit confused, but sorry about that, Reyna. I then hide behind the door for breach and catch him off guard as well. Now we're in a 2v1 and I go through the door and it's me and Fade remaining versus a Sage with an ult. Sage decides to use her ult here because I've already used my smoke for cover and I know the Sage is busy with the revive. It's time to spray and pray. Now we're back on split and our team decides that they want to push ramp, so I go down sewers and prepare a blind for them. Unfortunately, this play doesn't work out as expected, and as my teammates are getting brutally killed, I decide to push mid, analyze how many ult points I have, how many enemies there are, and also who the enemies are and what ultimates do they have. I checked this a few times. Eventually all my teammates die. When that happens, pay close attention to how I switch plans and head to B garage to pick up the last orb so I can pick up the spike and plant it on B. Now I'm planting the spike here for a specific reason and I'm going to explain why in a moment. Omen decides to use his ultimate here and I'm very cautious that he might have come round this corner. Unfortunately he didn't, so I decided to wait for them both. Initially I wanted to catch one of them passing this gap, but I changed my mind. And I'm gonna tell you why in a moment. I let them both pass, and as I said, this is why I planted the spike here. This makes them think that I'm B main. Make sure you try this out too. It works well on this map, it also works well on Haven, C long. I have a video here that explains how that works too. Now I called the bluff on that first defuse. Unfortunately Reyna catches me here, and I decide to break her brain somehow. I knew I had 2 teleports, I used my first one, and my second one I use here. As a reminder, you can change your orientation mid-teleport as an Omen main. So as you can see here, I'm already facing the direction that I want to be at once I complete this teleport. At this point, Omen is a little bit confused and the only thing he can think of is defusing the spike. Sorry Omen, better luck next time. Now we've just faked B and rotated to A. A couple of our teammates have died and we're pushing onto A site. Now here's another trick you can use as an Omen main. I noticed Breach is very close. And I'm sorry Sage, but I'm gonna have to ditch you for a moment and fake my ult. Now the good thing about using this is you don't really need to care about where you're placing your teleport because you're gonna cancel it anyway. And it's that cancellation that's really important. Watch this. As I said, I'm really sorry Sage, but we got the round in the end, right? Now let's talk about playing in Omen's smokes and using teleports around them. I have another video explaining how you could play in your smokes. But for now, let's observe how I switch positions yet again with my Shrouded step. At this point, I'm having quite a lot of fun and I decide to head back to B Link, where poor Yoru awaits his demise. Now, I did miss this blind, but fortunately I did get the kill, which is really good. And at this point, I'm a little bit happy, as you can see. Here I have my ult yet again, and it's time to confuse the Harbor and let him plant. But let's cancel our ult yet again. Sorry, Harbor. Now we're back on Haven, and it's the start of the round, and I'm defending on C side on my own as Omen. Place this smoke once you hear the enemy pushing C long. Try and time it so that they're quite close to you, so they find it difficult to run away from the one-way smoke. Let's see what that looks like.
Nice. Ace on A, bro.
Now time to get my ace. Or maybe not. Thanks, Phoenix. Thanks a lot. Oh, nice, Phoenix. If you're enjoying the video so far, please consider liking and subscribing. Now we're on Bind, yet another map that Omen is really good on. And here we are again, using that Shrouded step multiple times to change positions. I got so close in this one, but it didn't work out, unfortunately. As always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.